Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about Life Path 7. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So before we start, you first want to understand how to calculate your life path number so that you have the correct number. So on the screen is a formula of how to do this. You want to take each of the digits in your date of birth and add them up until you get to a single digit. And if you end up getting to 11, 22, or 33, hold on to that number. We are going to talk about the master numbers in future videos. So Life Path 7 is a part of the trio of the 1, 5, and 7. And what these numbers all have in common is that they are extremely intellectual numbers within numerology. But the 7 is a very special type of intelligence amongst this trio of numbers. So the 7 is ruled over by K2 in Vedic astrology, and K2 is associated with the astral plane. It is associated with psychic abilities, intuition, dreams, imagination. It is all about dissolving the physical and finding a deeper truth, searching for the root of all existence. K2 is connected to our past life experiences. It is the source of where we are coming from. And so it's no surprise then that the number 7 in numerology is often referred to as the God number, and it is seen all throughout patterns that we have within society, like the 7 days of the week. So there's something very special about this number 7. Those with life path 7 often have a combination of both intuition and intelligence. There is a deep penetrating insight into everything in existence. So these are the people who want to get to the root of everything, who are endlessly curious, who have endless questions about why are we here, what is our purpose, what does it all mean. This is all about getting deep below the surface. Now, life path 7 often is also a very introverted number. So typically those who are born with this placement of life path 7 love to be alone, love to be in isolation, are extremely independent, and you are able to use this alone time to delve into this deep knowledge, this deep understanding. So you oftentimes are a very wise person, very philosophical, very insightful. You have this incredible wisdom to share with the world. And a lot of the time, as a life path 7, you may not even know that you are teaching others. You are simply putting your thoughts and your understanding out into the world, and people are finding depth and meaning in what you are saying. Because you do have this love of getting to the depths of everything, getting to the roots of everything, again, there's a huge need for this alone time. You don't find any kind of fulfillment through small talk, through these meaningless interactions. You want to talk about spirituality, philosophy, religion, this deeper understanding. And so oftentimes, this can create difficulties around relationships. And you may be a person who likes to be alone, who loves to be single. So relationships may or may not be for you. If you are someone who is looking for a relationship, then this requires you to get out of your comfort zone and to experience things out into the world, to get out of that alone time. And you can do very well in relationships, but because you have a strong need for independence, for privacy, there's a need to compromise with your partner. There's a need to find an arrangement where you can have this space and privacy for yourself. Often life path 7 doesn't have a lot of friends, prefers a smaller group of people, or again simply prefers to be alone. There's a huge love of being in your own space and your own company. And you can find that the world within your head is more enjoyable than the world outside of yourself. Again, you're a very intelligent person, very insightful. You can have a vivid imagination, vivid dream world, where there's so much that is happening within your mind that it is like being in a completely different reality. And sometimes you can feel like an outcast as a life path 7 as well, as though you don't fit in with others, others don't accept you, don't understand you. So again, this is taking you inward into this alone time, this space to yourself. This Alone time also can help you with your spiritual journey. As a life path 7, you have a huge purpose that is centered around the development of your spirituality and inner wisdom. It is all about going inward, getting to know yourself better, getting to understand your journey, your purpose, diving deeper into this spiritual journey for yourself. So oftentimes when there is not a spiritual foundation for a life path 7, this can lead to disappointments. There's a need to have that spiritual base. This becomes very important. So practices like meditation, yoga, and getting into astrology, into mystical subjects, into all sorts of religion and spirituality can be very helpful for you. Life path 7s often have trust issues. There is a difficulty around trusting others or around taking things at face value. And again, this plays into your incredible intelligence to get this penetrating insight into people, into places, into situations, into all sorts of information. You have the mind of a detective, of an investigator. There's nothing that passes your mind. There's nothing that you miss from your surroundings. You're very observant, very sensitive, able to pick up on everything around you. And so because of this, there is a tendency to come across as very stubborn, as very rigid in your beliefs or ideas. In a sense, as the life path 7, you are not the student of others. You are the teacher. You are your own student. So there is a difficulty around taking advice or taking information from other people. Because of your observant nature, this also gives you a very quick mind. You are able to pick up on things very quickly, able to retain information and concepts very quickly. And so this also can mean that you come to conclusions or find out things that other people are unaware of before anyone else does. And this is an excellent talent of yours. This is definitely the position of many philosophers and influencers who have brought information to the public. So this is a position of discovery, of self-discovery, and of discovery of information in general. You have an ability to take complex ideas and concepts and to break it down into a way that other people understand it. So this makes you an excellent teacher, an excellent lecturer, excellent writer. You have a way of putting your message out into the world. And this is your way of being a humanitarian as well, contributing your wisdom and insight into other people's lives. As a life path 7, if you are struggling with your intuition, then it is important to, again, go into that deep reflection, to go into that space. Sometimes there is a tendency with this life path to ignore your own intuition or to try to close off from it due to fear or due to what others say about it. So there is a need to go deeper into this intuition because oftentimes you have very strong psychic abilities or at least an ability to predict certain trends and patterns to understand things intrinsically. So you have a profound level of intuition and intelligence. Due to this need to get to the bottom of things, you oftentimes are not satisfied with superficial answers. So this gives you a ton of focus and concentration. You are relentless. You are not satisfied until you get answers. So you can go really deep into a subject, continually dissecting and analyzing it until you get to the deepest understanding. Sometimes also because you like your alone time, there can be a tendency to ghost people or to put people on hold. You need a ton of space to yourself. So it's important to find a balance in this area. Again, it's important to develop experiences in the world, but as a life path 7, this is often a very introverted number where you need that time for reflection. You need that alone time to yourself. So it's important to balance out your relationships in a way that isn't making others feel like you are not having deep and genuine connections. This becomes very important for you. As a life path 7, because you are so skilled at understanding things in depth, and because you spend so much time to yourself, you also tend to give off an energy or presence to others that is very mysterious. And this can make others very interested interested in you as well. You have a very attractive energy that draws people to you, where people are very fascinated. They want to understand who you are. So you have this very mystical energy about you. You also want to understand sometimes that other people do not understand information in the way that you do. So there can be a tendency to become frustrated or impatient with others who are not able to see and understand on your level. There also can be a tendency to come across as condescending as well, or preachy in the way that you are putting your information out. So just keeping in mind that other people are not always on the same wavelength, or not always understanding the information in the way that you do. And this is a part of your life path, once again, where you are here to share your wisdom, your knowledge, to help others understand. And there's also a lesson in knowing how much of that information to share with people. Not everyone is ready for all of that information and insight where they are on their path as well. Your insight and intuition can also help you to see through lies, to see through deception. Again, you become all about this truth-seeking ability to get to the root of everything. So you tend to pick up on the energies of others around you. And this is where trusting in your intuition, again, becomes a huge part of your journey as a life path 7. Another thing that I tend to not hear talked about a lot is that K2 is very similar to Mars. They are both very fiery, very impulsive. So there is a tendency to become frustrated as a life path 7, where things are not moving as quickly as you want them to. And part of your lesson here is to develop patience, is to develop discipline, and to understand that things will happen when they are meant to not chase after things or people, to not try to force things to happen, but to move in the right timing. Because once again, this K2 energy is taking you inward, where this becomes about connecting in with your intuition, connecting in with that inner knowing and inner understanding. So some careers that are related to life path 7: investigators, detectives, researchers, scientists, mathematicians, philosophers, any kind of career that again is about getting to the bottom of everything, that is about secret hidden information, that is about researching and analyzing for more information, that is about using your information that you have and sharing this with other people. So teachers, lecturers, writers, this all falls under this life path 7. Historians, oceanographers, anything where you are discovering something that is unknown, something that requires deep searching, deep investigating to get to the bottom of it. This also is a great number for any kind of careers in mystical studies, astrology, occult knowledge, magic. All of this is coming under this number. So ultimately, this life path 7 is about using your intelligence and intuition and finding a balance of how to integrate this into your life, not retreating too much and taking enough time for yourself. All of this is coming into this life path where this becomes about developing your spirituality and inner wisdom.